It was wonderful. I teach a law of attraction.
That's
guys
so
are
cool.
so good.
Dr. Jill,
Hi.
powerful.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Is someone here? Yeah.
Yes. First of all, I would like. Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Jamela Franklin.
What happened? We'll get it.
For having.
Whenever I bring the cow people over there, I always mess up my house.
Anyway,
The cow! Ah!
Dr. Franklin, thank you so much for letting us come into your home today.
Thank you.
And we're very excited to be able to present something that we're very passionate about. It's called iMarketsLive, and if you're open to education, I am an educator, so therefore, I'm pushing that for the fact that it is educational. It's and I was shown this product by Dr. Miss Tracey. She probably is. Yeah, okay. Tracey Walker, who not only is a mentor to me, she's also a great leader. And she's showing me what true leadership should be. I'm amazed. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Miss Tracey Walker, and she's going to share some information about iMarketsLive.
That's cool. Thank you, Miss Jerry, and thank you, Ms. Jamila, for welcoming myself as well as Miss Jerry and my son into your home. I was just talking about your books here, and I was like, I know I'm in the right place. Right? I'm in the right place. I said, she has the Veggie Netter on the bookshelf. She has my eye up here on the bookshelf, some of my favorite stuff, and so as Ms. Jerry talked about being an educator, I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I'm originally from Chicago. And I went to school. I got good grades, right? I had A's and B's. I went to college at Florida A&M University. I received a master's degree in business there. And my whole intent initially was to be a chief marketing officer because my degree is in marketing, right? And I just really wanted to be a part of corporate America. I didn't know any better. I wanted to be a part of corporate America and be on the marketing side. So I graduated and got my first job, and then within the first year, September the 11th happened, right? So I was in a company that was in the energy sector, which meant that, of course, they were affected greatly. Like kind of like Enron was affected, that type of scenario. Just like, please step out the way. And so anyway, I was laid off, and I was working 12-hour days at that time, and I realized that this was, even though I'd only been there for like a year or so, I knew for a fact that I was done, right? I was done. It was almost like a sign from God that this is a time for you to just move along, right? So I call it is when I got my emancipation papers from that. Okay? So that was 2002, and I've never worked a job since 2002. So I've been an entrepreneur ever since then. And I have literally been on a journey to teach people, to educate people, and show them how to step into the entrepreneurial light, because I truly believe that until we understand how to facilitate our own businesses, control our own money, then we won't own anything in our neighborhoods and we don't have any economic power. And that's really the extent of everything. We can be as spiritual as we want, we can be all the other stuff, but until we have some economic say-so, it's not going to matter, right? And so even throughout my years of entrepreneurship and building teams and businesses, I came across this just June of last year. And what I fell in love with was the ability for people, anybody, to be able to take their own money, whatever they already have, and learn how to multiply it. Right? It's a little different than going out and trying to make money, right? Making money is one thing, but taking the money that you've already made, what are we doing with that? Right? That's the key. And so what iMarketsLive has done is it has put together an educational platform that teaches anyone and everyone who is astute, who wants to learn this, how to do it. Now, it's not going to be for everybody because some people are just like, well, I'll just let whatever financial advisor tell me what to do, right? Versus being your own money manager, okay? And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through some information here, hopefully that will enlighten you and share with you a little bit more about our platform. And then give you an opportunity to decide whether you would like to become a customer and start learning this education on your own. Is that fair enough? Okay, good. So Robert Kiyosaki, I know you guys are looking at the monitor here, but Robert Kiyosaki, many people know him because of his Rich Dad, Poor Dad publication, and he's very, he's well in the world of real estate. But the number 2 thing that Mr. Robert Kiyosaki teaches after real estate is foreign exchange trading. Now, people don't always know that because they know him so much from real estate. But after real estate, he's teaching Forex. Right? And so he has another publication that's called the Cash Flow Quadrant. And the Cash Flow Quadrant is another book, but what he talks about are the 4 different ways that we make money, just globally in the world. There's 4 different ways. The first way is as an employee, okay? Now, most of us know that because we were groomed to do that, right? With our parents' parents. You go to college, it's, clap, clap, rah, 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 go to school, get this piece of paper, and then what? Right? You have a bunch of student loan debt. I have tons of friends that are doctors or, okay, you know what I'm saying? Right? And then the bottom line is that most people don't even work in that field that they have the degree in, and you can't tell the federal government that that's a scam now, right? And that so they force the repayment of the loan, whether you use it or not, and whether you have a job or not. Okay. So this is a very, very dangerous position to be in as an employee. Number 1, because you are exchanging time for money. Okay, we make our money linear in that way. So if you run out of time, then simultaneously you run out of money. And so unfortunately, this is something that most people are plagued with because they don't know what else to do. They might know psychologically, I want to do something else, but I don't know how and I don't know what. So they continuously stay in this cycle, right? Of that. So we got 60% of the global population that's hanging out in that quadrant. The next quadrant is the self-employed quadrant. I knew something was tickling me. What in the world? Okay. So the second quadrant is the self-employed quadrant. So we got 35% of the population there. So that's kind of like what I did, right? I shifted from employed to self-employed. So I had a real estate investment company. We negotiated short sales. We made a couple $1 million doing that. And then
a couple of what?
Million.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I made a lot of money in that. And then and what happened is, if you guys remember, around 2006, 2007, something happened, right?
Oh, I know what happened.
Do you know what happened?
I know what happened.
Oh, I know what happened.
I was right out of college when it happened too. I'm still bitter.
Okay, so my business took a very big hit financially as well, and I realized that even though I was in business for myself, the issue was that particular type of business, as well as anybody that's self-employed, doctors, lawyers, they're all a pianist, right? Anybody that's doing it, a hairstylist, people pay you because your skill set is high. So you have to perform the work, right? So if you can't perform the work, it's kind of the same thing. Then you don't get the money. The difference is you're just not reporting to anybody else.
That's what
you're reporting to yourself.
Cherise, you had that on your Facebook.
I was just thinking about that. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Right. The fact that if you're self-employed, you still work for somebody.
You still work for somebody.
You have customers and clients.
And you work more, right? If you look at the dollar per hour, you make less because it's your baby and you're working more because you wanted to succeed, but everything depends and falls on you. You very rarely have resources or assets and things like that. So these 2 categories together account for 95% of the population, but it's only 5% of the money. So wait, we've got 95% of the people doing all this working, and all of that money isn't anything more than 5% of what's being circulated. Therein lies the problem. That's an inherent issue. So what Mr. Robert Kiyosaki says is that that's because you're on the wrong side of money, right? So this is the left side of money on this chart. So it's like, look, the left side is the wrong side. we've got to get people over to the right side of money. Okay, so the right side of money is where you shift over into the business owner category. Now, what makes the business owner different than the self-employed is that a business owner has leverage.
Right.
They have assets. They might have people that are leveraged, but they also have systems in place. They also have.
Do you mind if I take you?
No, go ahead. Please do. They also have all the different things that they need, such that they don't have to be in the business. Right? My real estate investor, my very first real estate investor mentor said, you've got to learn how to work on your business and not in it. Right? Self-employed, we're working in constantly, grinding day in and day out. Business owners aren't working in; they're playing golf. Or tennis, or traveling, and they're getting feedback and reports on what's happening on inside of the business. So, franchisee owners fall into this category, and that's kind of one of the most, the easiest ones to kind of point out, because when people buy, let's say, a McDonald's or some type of fast food place, they're not really buying the food. Like, we know that's not the best food. Right. Everybody, whether they eat the food or not, everybody agrees it's not the best food. Right. So what is it that people are buying? They're buying the fact that the system produces the return on income that people want.
Right.
That's what they know. You go anywhere in the world, McDonald's usually runs the same, right? They say the same. They wear the same uniform. The process is the same, suppliers, the same legal, all that. They're buying like a business in a box, right? For almost a guaranteed profit. Now, the problem even with that is that usually it takes a very, very, very high capital investment. So if you're going to do that, that's $1.5 million just collateral that you got to just sit up there. You need money to live off of outside of that. Krispy Kreme donuts, I think it's like $2 million to start that. So how many of you guys just have that laying around? Like $2 million, $3 million, just right? Okay, so we understand under the mattress, that's right. So we understand that it's a business, but the reality is that most people cannot enter that level of business ownership because of the high capital cost of investment. So then the next category is the investor category, all right? Now, investor category is really where we should all be striving to be, because at the end of the day, this is where your money is working for you.
Wow.
If your money has a job, then it's working 24/7. You physically can't work 24/7. And even if you did work 24/7, there's still only so much money that you could make doing that. Right. But with your money having a job, it can work all day, all night, all across the world. It can make all types of returns on the investment. It doesn't sleep, okay? And essentially what we want to do is we want to share with you how you can take your money and put your money to work such that you no longer have to work for it. Does that make sense? Yeah. And that's what 1% of the population knows how to do. They aren't working. They earn, or they have businesses that brings in a profit, and they take that profit and they put that money to work, and that money grows and grows and grows, and they're not worried about it. So we've got 5% of the population on the right side of the money, right side of the chart, and that money now accounts for, or those people, 5% of the people now account for 95% of the money. So that's where we need to be, right? I mean, it's not rocket science. Obviously, if the 5% are doing something that the rest of the people aren't doing, but they have more financial control, then we need to figure out how we can insert ourselves into that and then be able to produce for ourselves. Everybody agree with me on that? Okay. So we're on the same page, so now I can present the information. Right? So, Michelle, we can go to the next slide.
We're having an Oprah moment.
All right, yeah. Oprah goes, yeah.
You like it?
You want to go up?
You like it?
You want to go up closer?
No, it's okay.
Okay, so what is Forex, right? So the biggest thing is that, we were having a little discussion earlier today about our money and the money sitting in the banks, right? And if we know anything about the money in the bank, is that the bank isn't just holding it because they're being nice for us.
No.
Okay. The bank is holding our money because they are taking the money that we put on deposit, and they're going out and they're earning 20 and 30 and 40% on the money every single day. And then they're charging you to have an account. They're charging you if there's an overdraft fee. They're charging you for every little thing that goes on. They're charging you if you move money from a savings account to a checking account, because they want the savings money to sit so that they can do what they need to do, and they charge you if you move it sometimes after a certain amount of transactions because it's messing up their flow. right? And so what happens is the bank is taking this money. They're giving us barely 1% for the whole entire year. Right. Yet we still get, some kind of way we get bamboozled into putting our money into the bank. Again, maybe it's because we don't know what else to do with it, right? Same thing with the work situation. We don't know what else to do, so we keep doing that. We know we shouldn't put our money in the bank, but we don't know where else to put it, so we keep giving it to them. So that ignorance that we have makes them wealthier. Okay, and it makes us poorer. And so what is it that the banks are really doing? How are they investing it? Well, they're investing it in what's called the foreign exchange market. Now, the foreign exchange market is nothing more than exchanging one currency for another on a global scale. So you have the US dollar, like all the major countries, their currency. So the US dollar, the Japanese yen, the Great British pound, the Mexican peso, the euro, the Australian dollar, all these currencies, they are being exchanged on a day-to-day basis. Now, most times people understand what that is because they go out of the country. How many of you guys have ever traveled out of the country before, right? Okay. And when you went out of the country, if you stayed for any length of time, you had to exchange your money. That's right. The US dollar for whatever that local currency is, right? When you go to that currency exchange and you exchange that money, there's a difference, there's a rate. Okay, and it's almost like you're selling the US dollar and you're buying that local currency, right? It's still buying and selling. And there's somebody making money on the differences in that price. Okay, so the question is, why aren't you making that money and the differences in the price? All right, well, our banks are doing that. So the foreign exchange market is where this global currency is moving back and forth like this. It's literally a 24-hour a day, 5.5 days a week market. It's closed. It opens up on Sunday evenings at about 5 p.m. Eastern, and it closes on Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so all day Saturday is closed, and it opens back up on Sunday. It's a $5.3 trillion a day industry. So now the stock market, let me put it in perspective. Everybody knows what the stock market is, right? You can turn on any financial news show, and they're talking to you about the Dow. They're talking to you about S&P. They're talking to you about NASDAQ, right? And that in itself is only about 37 billion a day. Okay? We're talking about 5.3 trillion a day. And the question is, how is that not tickering across the bottom of our television screens? How have we missed that? Right?
That's money's made per day.
That's the amount of money that's circulating through that market every single day. Yeah, so somebody is making some of it somewhere every single day, right? So it's much larger than the stocks. It's much larger than everything. But this is the game that the big boys play. This is the game that the governments play, right? If the United States is going to buy something from Japan, let's say they're going to buy all the little pieces, right, that go on iPhones or something like this, right? They're going to buy that in a large quantity and scale. A lot of money goes into that, right? Well, when they process that order is going to more than likely go through one of the banks in Europe, because Europe has the largest banks, okay? So they're processing this order, and when that order gets processed, right, then the money is made. Now, in between there, the market is moving up and down, and people like me and you, we would be called retail traders. Well, retail traders can, as the market is going up, we can snatch profits out, and as the market is going down, we can snatch profits out. Now, even if you made $1,000 a day, let's just say that, right? Do you think that $1,000 a day is affecting 5.3 trillion a day?
No.
It's not. It's not making one dent. So the point that I'm making is that we could very well get wealthy 10 times over and it not even put a dent in what they're doing. Right? So it's just the knowledge that you don't have to work harder, you just have to work smarter. Okay? So that's where we are with that. All right. So now iMarketsLive is designed to take the foreign exchange market and teach its customers how to trade proficiently and effectively, all right, inside of this market. Now, I will tell you this. Most people like to self-educate. Okay?
Did you self-educate?
No.
You had a mentor?
I studied like this. When I went to business school, I didn't sit at home and try to go on YouTube and figure out how to become a business degree person. I paid money, I went to college, and I went through a series of curriculum, right, in a certain order that taught me a certain amount of information. So that's not self-educated, right? This, people like to try to go on YouTube and figure it out. And what I'm saying to you is that you could do that. But if you think you're going to play the $5.3 trillion a day game on YouTube, you're fooling yourself. Because the ladies and gentlemen that facilitate this market, they're making billions and billions. And we're not going to walk in on YouTube and figure it out. Okay, there's things that we don't know that's not disclosed there. So iMarketsLive is a first-class Forex educational company. All right, our goal is to teach you step-by-step how to trade in the Forex market. We were founded in July of 2013, so come this year we will be 5 years old. We're operating and fully functional in over 120 countries. We just came back from a convention in Las Vegas, and literally, I'm looking at this. I mean, I knew that we were a global company, but I mean, countries like Slovakia, right? Slovakia had a presence at the convention where it's like 500 people from Slovakia, right? Like, what are you even talking about, right? And we're here in the United States. And it's circling around us, and our brains just don't. It's like our receptors are dead, right? And people everywhere else, they're understanding what's happening. So we're a debt-free company. We're privately owned, and we have no third-party services. So what that means is that all the tools that I'm going to talk to you guys about, we either created them or we own them, right? We're not renting anything from anybody else. So now I want to talk to you a little bit about our leadership and our corporate staff. So we start with our CEO. His name is Mr. Christopher Terry. Mr. Terry is a foreign exchange trader, okay? He's over 20 years trading in this market. Now, a lot of times, guys, you may have seen businesses where people who are the leaders in the business or the corporate of the business didn't make their money with that type of thing. So, for example, have you ever seen a business before where they're selling juice or something, right? Or they're selling skincare. The people who are running that company did not get rich off selling juice.
Right.
They got rich off something else. They started a juice company. Now they want you to get rich off selling juice. Okay. Our CEO did get rich off Forex. Okay. And so his whole goal is and was to teach people how to do it because he knows how to do that. Right. So he started off doing it on his own. And as he expanded the company and taught other individuals how to trade, the company began to grow. He began to create the leverage we talked about. Right. Thus, iMarketsLive was formed. So over $50 million he's traded in hedge funds, his own money, corporate funds. He's written numerous books. He's been in magazines, articles, featured on the Money Show. Highly respected gentleman in terms of what we're doing in Forex. Next, we have Miss Isis De La Torre, and she is Mr. Terry's wife. Right now, the cool thing about her is that she literally is a former Wall Street executive. Wow. She's Dominican, so she's minority woman, double minority, right? And she was one of the very few women on Wall Street where a lot of those guys reported to her. Right? She's the one that actually taught Chris how to trade Forex in the first place. Right? So this is really her. Like, she knows what she's doing now. She's the financial backing of the company. So she has, aside from her skill in Forex and investments, she has a BA in economics. She has an MBA in finance. She has a Series 7, a Series 63 license. She has life, health, and annuities licenses as well. So she handles everything in terms of our company regarding the financial foundation of what we're doing. Next, we have Mr. Alex Morton and Mr. Yvonne Tapia. These two gentlemen are our vice president. Well, Alex is executive vice president and Yvonne is vice president of sales. And together, their job is really to make sure that out in the field, across all the different countries, that we're compliant, that we're following the legal guidelines of each governmental agency, and that we're here for a very long time to teach people this very, very unique skill. Now, what makes iMarketsLive unique, and this is a very important slide, is because I want you guys to understand we're not advisors and we're not a brokerage, okay? You do not deposit your money with iMarketsLive. Your money gets deposited in the brokerage that you choose, okay? There's foreign exchange brokers and you choose the broker that you want. We do not earn any performance fees for any trades that you make. We do not receive any commissions for any trades that you make. If you think of iMarket, we're just a college. Bottom line, we're just, you come here, you learn what to do, and what you go do is what you go do. Okay, our job is to teach you how to fish, and you do your own fishing. So you get to enter and exit trades at any time that you want. So there's nothing that says you got to stay in or you have to do this trade. You go on a trade if you want. You don't go on a trade if you don't want. And our objective, guys, really is to empower, enrich, and educate 1 million people in terms of what is going on in the foreign exchange market by the year 2020. Okay, so we got 2 years. Right now, the company has about 50,000 customers. All right, so we got a little bit to go, but that's why Ms. Jerry talked about, being apt and being an educator and making sure that we teach people, at least make people aware this education is out there for them. So we have a suite of products that are designed to help give you this education. And so we're going to start with we have 6 of them, okay? I'm going to go through all 6 pretty quickly so that you have an idea of what it is that you have. Yes, ma'am?
How did you get involved in the company?
Okay, well, can I answer that at the end? I'll be more than happy to. That way I can just kind of get through this stuff. Okay. So the very first product that we have is called IML Academy. IML Academy is basically, almost over 100 videos at this point in time, where it's designed for you to log into your back office and you can watch the videos as they talk about the basics of what foreign exchange is. What is Forex? Where did it come from? What's the jargon? What's the terminology? All the vocabulary, everything that you need to just build yourself up from not knowing anything about Forex to knowing something about Forex. Okay, it's like the background of everything. With that, like I said, we got like over 100 videos now. It's in multiple different languages, obviously, because we're a global company, and it's basic to advanced. So what we recognize is that most people that come to us don't know anything about Forex. But that's the whole point. You're not coming here because you're advanced in it. You're coming here because you're learning it. Okay, so we teach you all that, and you get to learn from expert traders. One of the things that I believe makes iMarketsLive very, very important is that the people that are teaching in the videos are people that are trading. These are not theorists, right? These are people that write books about stuff they've never done, right? So these are people that are actually in the market doing it, and they're giving you their live trading experience from there. So that's the first product. Our next product is, I believe that might be, next slide, might be IML Academy. IML TV. We got the Harmonic Scanner next. That's fine. Harmonic Scanner. Yeah. All right. So the Harmonic Scanner is a tool. All right. Everybody say a tool.
A tool.
The Harmonic Scanner's job is to help each of us earn while we learn. Okay. Again, most people are brand new, so you're not going to go into the foreign exchange market and know exactly what trades to take. So the scanner's job as a software is that it scans the market when the market is open, and it reads certain ratios and does all this mathematical stuff behind, and it kicks out trades for us. And when it kicks out the trade, then you have the ability to take the trade or not. And when I say take the trade, I mean enter the trade into your trading platform from your phone. And actually, it gives you the entry price, it tells you where you should take your profit, and it tells you where you should get out of the trade in case it goes negative. Okay, or the other way, because you can trade going up or down, right? So just go in the opposite direction, so that you minimize your risk. So the scanner is a privately owned software tool. We call it our virtual trading assistant, all right? Because primarily its goal is to just scans the market, right? It's scanning the market right now, and when a trade becomes available, it pops up. You can then decide to take that trade or not. Okay, just something to aid in your ability to start trading. Next slide, please. All right, so next we have our web analyzer. Now the web analyzer is one of our newest tools in the suite. It's similar to the scanner, except for the web analyzer basically, in Forex, you're trading in different time frames, okay? There might be like a 4-hour chart or 1-hour chart or a daily chart. And so the web analyzer combines all the different time frames together, and it says, hey, wait a minute, this might be a trade possibility here, right? And it has a little sign that says cha-ching. So if you have your computer open and you have your web analyzer up, Ms. Jamila could be in there cooking and doing whatever and not worried about it until she hears cha-ching. When she hears cha-ching, she'll come back to her computer, she'll look at that trade and decide whether she wants to take that trade or not, right? So that's kind of how, so it analyzes everything for us, and then it lets us know, hey, you could potentially take this trade. It might be a buy, it might be a sell, whichever one, okay? So one of the most important things about the web analyzer as well, a little bit different than the scanner, is that it gives you more precise entries, okay? Now the thing about trading is getting in at the right time, right? I mean, me and you could be in the same trade, but you get in way too late. Yeah. And now you're negative and I'm positive. It's the same trade, okay? So this is what I mean about self-education. So you could try to figure that stuff out, or you can leverage people that have made millions, 9 figures from their knowledge, right? And understand how to assess when you should get in, okay? And not just jump in stuff because it looks like it's going that direction.
And know when you should get out. Right?
And know when you should get out.
Yeah.
Because, there's something called greed. How many of you guys understand there's something called greed out there?
Oh, I know.
Okay. Now, I'm going to be honest. Can I be honest? Can I be transparent?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think I was greedy, okay? I didn't, because I guess in our minds what we think greed is one thing. Okay, like trying to take something that's not yours, or if you're eating, just overeating or stuff like that, right? But in the market, what happens is that I found that I was being very greedy. So for example, I might be in a trade and I might have made, let's say $700, right? Or maybe $655, okay? And because in my mind, I want to get to $700. Do you see what I'm saying? I want it to be even. Why? I don't know. It's just something subconscious that says 700 is better than 655. Right? So I want to get this other $45 so bad that I've literally, the market has turned around on me and I've had to get out. Now I've only profited 300. Why? Because greed. That's greed.
You get out.
I can't, well, anytime you're in profit, you can get out. If you're in profit $10, get out if you want to. If you're in profit $30, get out. Because anytime you're in profit, that's money that you did not have before that you do now have. Okay. So if you analyze your charts, there might be a target that you have. You might say, okay, I believe the market's going to go to here. If it does go to here, that would equate to $700. So I'm waiting for it to get here. But for whatever reason, between here and here, it doesn't do that. You got to learn how to say enough is enough. It just close the trade out, or else, boom, right? Because you're busy.
This is in a day.
It could be in a day.
Your example.
It could be in a day. It could be over. It could be over a couple of days.
Okay.
It could be within an hour, right? It could be within 15 minutes. It depends on what particular chart you're actually basing your trades from. All right. So that's what I'm saying about that whole situation with the greed factor. Okay. And I didn't realize I had that bug until I started trading. I had to fix that. All right. Next we have our daily swing trades. Now the daily swing trades are trades. They're really videos that our CEO sends out. Generally once a week. And what he does, he goes in and he analyzes certain pairs. And when I say a pair, I mean that like when you're trading, you have to have 2 currencies together. So you have to have like the US dollar with the Great British Pound. Like you can't trade the US dollar by itself. That you're not trading anything. You're just, it's it, right? You need a second one. Because while one is going up, the other is simultaneously going down. Okay, so you need 2. So together it's called a pair. So he will look at certain pairs and he will say, okay, this is what I'm thinking is going to take place. Here's what I would do. He'll put the analysis together. And basically it's like you're looking over the shoulder of a 9-figure earner telling you, hey, this is what I'm getting ready to do. You can do it if you want, or you cannot do it if you want. But I'm getting ready to, I'm keeping my eye on this particular setup because when this thing happens, I'm going to get in this trade. All right. So he sends these out maybe once a week, sometimes twice a week, depends on what's going on. How many of you guys are familiar with cryptocurrency now? I've heard about it, right? So we have crypto.
It's even at the convenience stores now.
It is the Bitcoin machines, right?
Oh my God.
So we even have cryptocurrency education. So we have foreign exchange education and we have cryptocurrency education as well. Okay. So a lot of times when he does his swing trades, sometimes it may be on a foreign exchange pair, or it might be on a cryptocurrency pair. Okay. Because we serve both markets at this point in time, because there's a lot, I mean, it's a lot of money to be made in crypto too, but foreign exchange has been around for hundreds of years. That's the fiat currency. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. The cryptocurrency, it's more newer, it's digital. We don't believe it's going anywhere either, but we just provide both. Okay. So that's the deal with that. Okay, so swipe trades. Now, swipe trades is one of my favorite tools because it is pretty much an application, like an app that you download on your phone, right? Most of you guys have apps, so you have a smartphone, right? So what happens is we have master traders that work for the company that they're analyzing the foreign exchange charts various times of the day. And when they see a trade that is a high probability trade, they send it out through the swipe trades notification, and we get it on our phones like a Facebook notification, right? And so then we open up the trade, we open up the notification, and it gives us the trade details. Again, the price that you get in, the price that you get out, and the price that you would want to get out should the trade go the opposite direction of what you expect, all right? And so people that are on the go, that are busy, especially like with me and him, you know, going to pick him up from school and stuff like that, I'm away from my computer quite a bit sometimes, right? So if a swap trade comes out and I'm at the stoplight, I'm like, oh Lord, let me pull over, right? I pull over and I look at this and I say, okay, do I want to take this trade? And I'll either get in that trade or I don't, right? If I do, then great, and then I'm on with my day. So it helps because you're able to still keep your finger on the pulse, even though you're not confined and tied to your computer. Okay, a lot of people think that foreign exchange trading is you have to sit in front of your computer all day, because in their mind they're thinking about like the boiler room or something. I don't know what they're thinking, right? It's not that, right? It's not that. It's really you being able to take information, analyze it quickly, and execute it in a way that allows you to profit. Okay, and in the meantime, we have master traders that help us because we're busy and we're not doing that full time. We have lives, right? So that's that. Now, I didn't see IML TV on there. Let me go back in there and explain that. It's on there somewhere. We might miss it. So IML TV. IML TV is pretty much the, to me, it brings to life the IML Academy. So the Academy is where you study your own videos 24/7, right? Anytime you want. IML TV is where you actually go on, there's like a TV guide. And you have master traders. We have 50 different educators now. He can't some water, that's fine. I was like, 50 different educators. 50 different educators that numerous times throughout the day, they are teaching in the live market. So you can log on and you can see them trading. And you can interact with them via the chat. So if you have questions and things of that sort, you can interact with them, all right? And so a lot of what I learned, so you know, about the self-education, well, I'm learning from IML Academy, but a lot of it is being able to model what other people are doing, right? I mean, that's how you get successful, right? You find somebody that already have or that's doing what you want to do, and you do what they do. Right? That's pretty much the bottom line. And so we've got all these master traders that get on here and they're showing us in real time what they're doing, and they're speaking how they're thinking. And if you can adopt their mindset as to how they're seeing the market, then you can learn to trade on your own using that same type of mindset, right? So that's how I've really gotten a little bit better with it, is watching them over and over and over and realizing the market really just does the same thing over and over. It has for hundreds of years, right? And just learning those different patterns. So in addition to those six products and services that we have, we also have extensive training and support. Because what we realize is that even though you're in this, most people are new. And so a young lady that was sitting right here a little bit ago, she said, I think I was doing this before, but I didn't have a coach. Right? I didn't have anybody that was kind of helping me get this thing together, so I kind of put it to the side, right? So we have an extensive training platform that the company provides, but our team is called the Dream Team. I founded the Dream Team back in 2011, and our team is uniquely designed such that it's more of a family atmosphere. If you think about a soil and you cultivate a seed in a soil, that soil's got to be right. Right? It's got to have the right environment. It's got to have sunlight. It's got to have water. It's got to have, you know, thing to take root. Our team provides that type of resource because we know it's a big, big world out there, right? So even though iMarketsLive does its job with providing the education, we still have to have an even smaller circle, right, within our team to help facilitate people as they journey through this, so that they have questions. There's a group of people that can help them in a more closely knit environment. All right. So iMarketsLive has that. We have that. We have IMLtraining.com, which when you get started, there's a 72-hour fast start that we like every single customer to go through, because it helps you get set up properly. All right. Our team has even done what we call a virtual trading summit, where we take that and we do it again. Right, just from our perspective, and we walk people through every single step and getting started with pulling up your trading software on your phone, downloading the applications that you need, and making sure you get through the basics. We have the IML corporate app. So you download the corporate app, and now you're able to stay in touch with any of the calls that are happening on a weekly basis, the new member calls, the training calls, anything like that that's happening. You can stay abreast of that through the IML corporate app. And then there's the 7-figure mentorship call. We do this call every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And usually there is a 7-figure earner or an 8-figure earner that is sharing more personal development than trading. Because this game is really about mindset more than anything. The technical aspect of it, anybody can learn that. But it's the discipline, it's the personal development, and it's your relationship with money.
That's key.
That will kind of dictate how well you do. So you and I can look at the same IML TV session. You and I can go on the same trade, but because my mind and my relationship with money may be different than somebody else's, they seem that they're always losing.
Yeah.
Why are you always losing? We're in the same trade.
Yeah.
Right? So that is very, very important. Many of us, like I grew up where my mom, was like, she was a saver, right? She saved everything. So we didn't spend that much on a lot of extra little things, right? I danced, I did my extracurriculars. Not that I wanted for much, but I now looking back, I realized, man, we could have did a whole bunch more, but she's so busy saving, which meant that what she transferred to me was don't spend.
Right.
Okay. Well, the law of the universe doesn't say you can't hoard. You can't. You have to. What you want more of, you have to give away. So if you want more money, you got to spend more money because the universe will give you what you can receive as fast as you can receive it. Right. So you learn. So that relationship I had with money was kind of jacked up. Right. So we talked about my real estate business a little earlier when the market went down. What sustained us at that time was that I knew how to save. Right. I saved a lot of money, but because I didn't really know how to invest, then all we did was just bite off of what we had saved. Right? Most people that you have saved, but then you don't know how to get more or how to take that and get more, multiply it. So once, until you find the next business or you get to the next job, you're eating off of what you saved, which is not a good thing either, right? Had I known how to take some of that money and be investing it the right way, we did invest in some things, but things that don't pay you any real return. Right? And so that's a waste of time and you're paying all these fees for nothing. Then you can't touch it. Like people have 401k, you can't touch that 401k until a certain period or they're going to penalize you. Pensions, even if you have a pension to this day, it's a problem with the pensions. Social Security. What's Social Security? Right? It's everything that was designed to help for the future, it doesn't help for the future. Right? So we've got to do something different. So that's pretty much what we kind of put together, and that's the mindset we want people to have getting started. So in reference to getting started, we have two different ways that you can do so. One is through our Platinum package, and one is through our Platinum Elite package. Now, the Platinum package is going to give you 4 of those 6 products that I talked to you guys about. You're going to get the IML Academy, you're going to get the IML TV, you're going to get the Harmonic Scanner, and you're going to get the daily swing trades. Right? So all of that, normally it would be about $495 every single month, but we've been able to get everything down where our CEO says, we're just going to offer this for $195. All right? So one time you enroll as a customer for $195, and then there's a monthly subscription that you can cancel at any time. Like there's no contract, there's no, whatever, but you cancel it, and that's $145, well, plus the tax, right? $145 every single month moving forward. Now, what I like to share with people is that if you break down $145 over the month, that's like $4.83 a day. And we are helping people in our organization make like $20, $30 a day. Starting off, right? So the goal is, as a business, as a skill set, you should always be looking to get a return on the investment from the investment itself, right? Not just buy something and then just look at it and then hope that miraculously, God's going to make something happen. So the idea is that if we can help people to start to earn $5 a day, $6 a day, then the theory is that in this world, you do not work harder for money. You just increase the amount of leverage that you have on your trading account. As your account gets bigger, you leverage more on your trades. So the same trade can sometimes be $10 for one person, $1,000 for another person, $10,000 for another person. Why? Because of the size of their account. So we can help you to grow your account initially to just cover your costs. That's a good thing, okay? But after that, then the goal is for you to start increasing your account so that you can start leveraging more and flipping the money at higher levels, essentially, is what that's done, right? Okay. Now the additional, the Platinum Elite package is gonna add on the Swipe Trades app, and it's going to add on the Web Analyzer. Okay, those two things are basically just $30 more. All right, and so you can get started with the Platinum, or you can do the Platinum Elite, or you can get started with the Platinum, and you can upgrade to either of those products at a later time if you so choose. You're never locked out of getting any particular package that you want to get. All right. Now, in addition to that, guys, there is a, Michelle, you can go to the next slide. In addition to the customer side of it, guys, the company does offer a referral commission, a referral aspect of it where you can get your subscription for free. How many guys would like to get it for free? All right. So you guys know, like, if you have like cable or something like that, they might say if you refer 2 customers, we'll give you $100 or whatever. So as customers, if you refer 2 other customers, then the company will completely waive your monthly subscription of that $145. Okay? As long as you have 2 customers, 2 active customers, yes. And you don't need 2 customers every month, and you don't need, any shenanigans. It's really, you enroll 2 customers, they're active, great. If one of those people stop paying, then you don't have 2 customers anymore, right? Then you need to get another customer. That may need to happen. Once that happens, then you're right back in your 2 and free program again, okay? So as long as you have 2 friends or 2 people
I have 25 right here. So
there you go, right? So essentially they sign up, right? You have 2, they'll be free, okay? So that's how that works. And again, there's no restrictions, there's no time limit. You don't have to do it by this date. It's whenever, okay? Whenever you want to do it. Next slide, Ms. Jared, please. Okay, so now, like with a coin, there's two sides to a coin. There's a heads and there's a tails, right? So I've given you guys the core of what we're doing. Okay, this is the part that we're out on the mission, financial empowerment. But the tail side of this is completely optional. Everybody say completely optional. Completely optional. And I say that because some people get so concerned and worried sometimes when there is a network marketing side of things that they feel pressure that they need to go and sell something. And the thing is, you don't. And what makes this so different is because in our business, you should be making money from the trading. Right? You shouldn't have to tell your friend that you're multiplying money for you to make money. Right. You can if you want, but if you don't, that's on you. Like, you can sit in your house and make $1 billion and nobody ever has to know, okay, unless you want them to tell. However, the company does have a compensation plan such that if you do choose to tell other people that you're compensated for that. Is that okay? Okay. So let's kind of go on. So I'll go through this part really, really quickly. So what happens is, for every person that you refer to the business, every customer that you refer, a company's going to pay you $35. Okay. Now that $35 is infinite, right? This is from day 1 on through every person referral. What happens is you also have a level 2 and you have a level 3 referral, which means that if Ms. Jamila, if Ms. Jerry signs up Ms. Jamila, then Ms. Jerry make $35. Right? But then if Ms. Jamila then enrolls David, then you would make $35, right? But then Ms. Jerry makes level 2, which would be $10. Okay? Now, the idea, remember we talked about the business owner side earlier, about leverage, right? For whatever reason, some of our people don't get this when it comes to leverage, right? It's okay for realtors to do it. Brokers, realtors, right? Everybody understands that Century 21 is a brokerage, and they have agents in their office. And those agents go out, they sell houses, that broker gets a commission. Nobody ever has a problem with that. But the minute you have a business where you're like the broker, all of a sudden we have a problem, right, with creating that leverage. And we need to get out of that because that is what creates the freedom. Okay? That's what the freedom is really about. So then there's a third level for $5. So let's say David goes out, David enrolls someone, then he would make $35. Ms. Jamila, you would make $10. Ms. Jerry would make the $5. Okay? Now, to receive the level 2 and the level 3 commissions, you do have to achieve a certain rank in the company, okay? So for the level 2, you need to have at least 12 people on your team to receive the $10. And for level 3, you need to have at least 30 people on your team to get the $5, okay? But you can get the $35 forever. That's kind of like the fast start money. Bless you, side. Yuck. Then we have the residual income. Completely different than linear, what we talked about earlier, right? Linear is you go to work, you get paid for what you do. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. The residual is you plant the seed grows, and as long as the seed continues to grow, you continue to eat from the seed, okay, or the plant that comes from the seed. And so this talks a little bit about those different ranks. So the very first rank in the company is called Platinum 150, and Platinum 150 is where you have 3 customers that you personally enrolled to your team. Okay, so what happens is the company now is going to pay you, in addition to the $35 once, they're going to pay you $150 a month. Okay, now how many guys think that $150 is a lot of money or not enough money? That's a good thing. Because I was going to say, if anybody's working, right, if you were missing $150 out of your paycheck, you know that $150 is missing, right? So it's enough. It's enough to pay attention. But the beautiful thing about this 150 is that in addition to the trading, our goal as a company is to pay you so that you can at least still cover your costs, right? So even if you haven't made the money trading just yet, if you refer 3 people, then at $150 a month, that's covering your $145. Essentially, okay? Platinum 600, that's where you have 12 people on your team. Now you're earning $600 every single month. And guys, this is at this level, this is where people are able to do a couple of other little things they want to do, right? A car note, whatever, do some more extracurricular activities or give it away, whatever. What a lot of people do in our environment is they actually take that money and they trade with it, right? If the company's going to give you $600, it might not be changing anything in your life, but you might as well go ahead and you can add to your trading fund, right? And you trade it. So $600 a month, and then Platinum 1000 is $1,000 a month. That's 30 people in your total organization. You don't have to refer all 30 of those people, but just collectively they're there. And the same thing, $1,000 a month could pay whatever you wanted to pay, but if it's not really making a dent in anything, put it into your trading account, right? And keep investing your money and flipping it over and over and over. Now here's a more detailed version of our compensation plan. What this basically says is that we have multiple different ranks. So even after the Platinum 1000, there's a Platinum 2000, which is $2,000 a month. There's a Platinum 5000, $5,000 a month. Then we go to our chairman level ranks, which is Chairman 10. Chairman 10 is $10,000 a month. Chairman 25 is $25,000 a month. Chairman 50, $50,000 a month. Chairman 100, $100 a month, $100,000 a month. Chairman 250, $250,000 a month. In fact, the gentleman that was just calling me on the phone, he's my mentor. He's at the Chairman 250 level. Okay, 34 years old.
You're talking about David.
Talking about David, right?
Well, that's
his name is David.
Hey.
That's right, David BCA. And then Chairman 500, which is $500,000 every single month. All right, so that's kind of how that comp plan goes. Next slide, Ms. Jerry.
I'm sitting here listening like this is the first.
I know, right? It's okay. So in addition to that, we just have a couple other little things, and this is all on the. Yes, ma'am.
One quick second. 2 people had to leave.
Okay.
Antoinette had to leave. Sharice is here in the kitchen.
Yeah.
She has to leave too. She has to show her house or something. But she want to ask you one quick question.
Sure. Go
I
ahead.
hate that I have to go.
Yeah.
Don't mind, it's full of questions. But I want to ask, so the company is basically making money off of you utilizing their tools.
Right. It's an institution. So the company earns money as it acquires customers for us to teach. Correct.
Right. So, okay. That's what I wanted to know. That's what we, as a trader, I would just be utilizing the tools.
The tools and the education. Correct.
Right. Okay.
You got it. And then whatever you made off your trades is whatever you make off your trades. They don't make any money from that. You got it. If you have any other questions, you could just let Miss Jerry know or Miss Shabila know. We'll get them answered for you if you think of some more.
Okay.
Yeah, leave your email address.
I just sent it to her.
Okay.
And she, okay.
Okay.
You can just give it to them if they have emailed this.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. Have a good day. So this is just some different bonus ranks and, some additional income. I mean, just more money that you can earn from, sharing the plan with other people, right? So at the end of the day, what you get when you get started with iMarketsLive is you get the prestigious leadership, you get our world-class products, tools, and services, you're going to get the dynamic platform, and what's really important, you can do this from any mobile device. So your cell phone, your iPad, your tablet, any of those different things, you can leverage it on the go. Anywhere you have Wi-Fi, you can trade, okay? Anywhere in the world. Friendly support and culture. We have an unmatched passion and vision. As I share with you, our vision is to empower, enrich, and educate over 1 million people in the world of foreign exchange trading by the year 2020. And our goal is to help you, teach you how to help your money work for you. Make sense? All right. So, guys, I appreciate your time on this evening. What we really like to do now is see if there are any questions. I know that you did have a question for me, right? If we have did he do? Oh, he didn't.
No, he didn't. No.
Somebody's calling.
I was gonna say, who you call?
That's right. He know he'll call somebody in a heartbeat. But then she asked me, how did I get started in this? Well, I got started in this because I was a part of a previous company, right? And I made over 7 figures in that company. And then that company started having some corporate issues in terms of administrative stuff. And then the company went out of business, right? So when the company went out of business, I was looking for another opportunity to bring my team to and something like that. But one of the major things is that for me at that time, I didn't want anything that would not help the people I was associated with outside of that company.
Right.
I wanted something they could take. If that company shut down, do you have something that you can take with you?
Right.
Or are you only selling this cup of juice? Right? I didn't want that. And so I started leaning towards financial education. I didn't know about this at that time, but you know how you start moving in a direction and then, you got it in the right way. And then the gentleman, David Manitier, I got on a phone call with him. He was already, an 8-figure earner in the industry, and I was letting him know what happened with my previous company. I flew down to Orlando to take a look at a convention that this company was doing last June. And I loved what I saw. I saw people there that were making more money trading than they were telling people about it, right? Which is a great indication that there's value beyond just selling. And I was excited about that. For myself and for the other people, because there's tons of people that I know that aren't that good with selling stuff, right? Yeah. But they turned on me. I have a gentleman on my team, his name is Brian Velez. He's 28 years old, and he never did really well with building a team. Brian got started with our organization in October of last year, just 2017, so just a few months at this point. And not to make any income claims, but he had his first 5-figure day. He had 2 5-figure days. Right? And so basically we add everything up, probably about $34,000 he's made since October. Just on trading. Yes, sir. No, please go sit there. So this is kind of what we're saying, right? And so at 28 years old, we're talking about now actually having something where his belief level and him being able to multiply his money is extremely high. And he doesn't have to work a job to do that. He was a manager like Verizon or something. And they laid him off. Was never going to get rich from doing that. No. Right?
If you have a job, it's what jail operating is business.
That's right. Oh my goodness. Exactly right.
Or just over.
They say just over broke too.
Yeah. Valerie says jail operating is business.
So that's how I got started. I shifted from one company that shut down to this company, but with the foundation of we've got to have something that resonates outside of this company. If iMarketsLive, God forbid, if iMarketsLive were to go away today, do I now own something that nobody can take from me? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And am I at a loss because the company went out of business? No. I still know how to trade, right? And if we can teach people this, then they're not dependent on anything. Right. With a company, their job, their mom, their dad, their daughters, sons, whoever. We're trying to truly create an environment of true financial freedom. So that's kind of how I got started with it, and that's why I ran with it. I'm even teaching him. I mean, he knows, but he's 3 years old. But he knows when I'm in the trade, he's like, "Mommy, your trade is blue," because when the numbers are blue, you're in profit, right? When the numbers are red, you're not in profit. So he's like, "Mommy, you're doing good. Yeah, we're doing good. They're blue." And sometimes with my mentors, when they come in town, they'll give him some money. Right? And I said, "Decide what are you going to do with your money?" He's like, "Trade it?" Yes. That's right. We're not going to put it in that bank, right? That's right. So
how much money, how soon after you start doing the training do you start trading, and how much money do people usually have when they start trading? How much do you start trading?
Good question. What we recommend is that when you first start trading, that you trade in what we call a demo account, which is practice. Please sit down. Which is practice. It's not real money. And the reason is because you don't know what you're doing. Right? So we don't want you risking your real money like you're in Vegas. Right? You're not throwing it up against the wall. Right. So you're learning the skills and you're practicing in your demo account. And you can demo trade as long as you want to. It's fake money, but it's the real market. Okay, you can still place real trades, and you can see how your money would be performing had you had real money in that. Okay, so you can do that as long as you want. The company really recommends like 60, 90 days. Okay, however, some of us are a little anxious, right? And we don't want to do it that long. So some people go live 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, right? But we do recommend that you have proper risk management, which we talk a lot about that. Essentially, which is if you have an account that is $500, that you never risk any more than 3% on any one trade. Now, if you want to go out there, right? I mean, $500, 3% is 1% is what? $5, right? So I mean, 3% is $15. So if you were to lose, because you have to think about it from that side. Most people are like, "Oh, well, if I win, I would make this." Yes, but if you lose, what did you risk? Right? So if you're only risking $15 in a $500 account, if your trade were to go negative, the question is then, would you lose sleep at night? Right?
That's a good,
And if you're okay with not having the $15, then you're okay. Right? If you're risking $200, then you shouldn't be doing that. And that's what I mean about self-educating. People don't understand proper risk management. So they go out there and they are rambunctious and they lose a lot very fast because they don't know how to have proper risk management, right? So how long? It's education. It depends on how you absorb it. It depends on when you feel comfortable you want to go live. And it depends also on how much is in your account, okay? Now you ask how much did you start with. Brokers, most of the brokers will allow you to start with $10. So if people have 10, we have a gentleman, he's not on my particular team, his name is Dr. Spiller. Dr. Spiller actually, he goes out and he, like as part of his community service, he goes out and he teaches ex-felons how to trade their money because they have been kicked out of the system. Okay? So what are they supposed to do besides go back to what they were already doing? So if you have $10, $20, he's teaching people how to take that 10, grow that 10 to 40. Grow that 40 to 100, right? 100 to, and grow your account that way. So the bank, the broker will let you start, most of them with like $10 to $20. But if you have more, I would say probably like 500 or 1,000 is a good starting point. But anywhere between 10 and what you have, you can trade.
So the broker manages the account.
Nobody's managing the account. You're managing the account.
So how do I start an account though? What's the process for?
Oh, you learn all.
Yeah, we would teach you all of that. Because it's like
it's in here too.
Yeah, in your fast start process, it will show you like all the different brokerages that you can choose from. You would just go online. You set up an account. You go online, you open up an account. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. And then what you would do is you would fund your account when you're ready. Because each broker has demos. So you can create a demo account. And it'll give you a username and password associated. You can choose how much you want in your demo account. Now, I've seen people that go out and they'll demo account with like $1 million. Okay, great, but that's not realistic unless you were going to actually start with $1 million, right? Now, if you knew in your mind, okay, when I'm ready to go live, I'm probably going to start with $1,000. Then I recommend you demo with $1,000 because it's going to be a direct reflection of how your mind is associating with the process, right? And you see what's going on. So that's kind of how that works. And so then when you're ready to go live, then you connect like your bank account or your debit card or whatever, and then you transfer funds from your bank account into your brokerage account. And then your brokerage account, the money's just sitting there. There's no fees or anything. And so it's really better to have your money sitting in a brokerage account than it is in a bank account, because they're using it and charging you. Versus if you bring it over here to the brokerage account, they're not using it and they're not charging you. You're using it.
So I would be taking all the risk about earning or losing, just like in the stock market.
You would be taking all the risk because it's your money, but you're making all the decisions too. Right now, if you have a financial advisor, you're still taking all the risk, except you're not making any of the decisions.
That's a good point.
You're still taking all the risk.
Right, that's right.
And then you're paying them to make the decisions for you. And you're taking all the, if they make the wrong decision, you lose all your money.
And then they get a commission.
And they get a commission regardless, because they get commissions based on transactions.
Right.
Right? And so what we're trying to educate people here is, why go through all of that? It's okay to risk all your money because you're risking it anyway, but you need to know what decisions should be. You should be making the decisions for your hard-earned money. So that's kind of how that works. Any other questions?
No, this is phenomenal. I mean, this is one of, I'm still interested in real estate too, but this is one of the things that I'm interested in that has an MLM side to it, and it still has my attention. It's like, hate MLMs.
That's right. Then we all hate them, right? Because they push so. I mean, because
I know she's the L.
Oh, that's good. I like network marketing, right? I was kind of being facetious. I like them.
Yeah, she's the queen.
But the bottom line is that the reason why most people don't like them is because you don't make any money unless you sell the thing.
Right.
Now you can benefit, if it's a lotion, you can benefit from the thing, right? Or the juice, you can benefit from the thing.
But you work so hard to make any money with
you make so hard, you work so hard to make so much
money. My
money.
own businesses, I don't want to be working hard for somebody else. I need to be focused on my own thing.
Right.
So
what we're doing,
this to me is passive income. This
there you
is
go.
What we're talking about.
Exactly.
That's what I'm looking at.
And even with real estate people, like what we're showing, I mean, because I have a real estate background, what I know for a fact, and you guys would too once I say this, is, you know, when I was investing in real estate, my money might be tied up in a piece of property. Right? My money could be tied up in 5 houses on this block, in rental properties, right? And I'm getting a rental income. But let's say I need to cash out. It's not liquid.
Right.
I have to go through a whole process to cash out. I have to sell it, or I have to negotiate with the tenant. Like, it's this whole big rigmarole to get my money out because there's no liquidity in that. But with the foreign exchange market, what I've been sharing with some of my real estate investment friends is that, listen, the money that you make at closing, with that money, you need to take a portion of that and invest it into Forex, because you have no liquidity in this, right? A commercial piece of property, no liquidity in that. You can refinance, but it still takes time. What if I need my money today? With foreign exchange, if my money's sitting in my brokerage account, maybe 48 hours, 72 hours, I've got my money. Any amount of it that I want, right? So liquidity is very, very important, even in investing. Cash is a position. Cash is a position in investing. You know what I'm saying? So that's how Warren Buffett does it. You know, Warren Buffett sits on his cash until stocks, because he's more of a stock market guy, until stocks dropped and they're at a discount. Just like property, you shouldn't buy property at retail, you should buy property at wholesale. So if you're investing your money, because if you know something's going on in this neighborhood, or something's getting ready to go on, right?
I do.
You know something's going on, getting ready to go in this neighborhood. Then how does one prepare for the moment comes for you to do what you need to do? Well, if you're flipping your money in foreign exchange, it's staying liquid. It's growing, but it's staying liquid. All right? And now you're growing and growing. Now when the time comes for you to buy, or you to bid, or you to whatever, cash is a position. You've got cash on hand to do what you need to do. Anybody that owns everything already, they have to now go liquidate some kind of way.
That's right.
And you're already ready to go. And this is why people like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, they win in what they're doing, because they understand cash is a position. And they're always growing their money, even if they don't have it invested in something ideally. They're flipping it in foreign exchange. They're keeping it liquid and they're keeping it growing.
Well, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is so wonderful.
It is. It's
Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm recording you and taping it. I'm gonna talk to my loan advisor over here and my loan advisor over here.
Okay.
My network. You want to talk about network marketing queen? This one over here is perfected it. If it's out there, she knows how to make money. She makes money. I don't make money. I don't build.
Oh, yes, you do. Stop saying that.
No, not with that. I don't. That's
Okay,
not my
not with
passion.
network.
Okay. But in terms of the foreign dollar or whatever, I invested in some dinar.
Okay.
And when it RVs, I can buy everybody a house. But when is it? This was years ago.
Yeah.
And so I'm into the law of attraction. If you keep worrying about it, it's not going to happen.
Right.
So I don't think about it. I just put it away in my Bible, and I'm just okay. What's your feel about when and if it's going to RV?
Well, the thing is, you know, investing in a currency is different than trading in currency, right? Investing in a currency is much more of it has to go, it's like a stock, right? You only benefit when the value increases.
Right.
Okay? So now everybody's sitting on pins and needles, hoping that it goes in the direction that you want it to go. If it doesn't, then, oh my goodness, everybody loses. As a trader, we make money whether the value goes up
or down,
or whether the value goes down. Do you see what I'm saying? So we're not really looking to own a particular currency.
Right.
We're just looking to trade the currency, which is what's with crypto, right? So with Bitcoin, for example, a lot of people came in and they were able to buy crypto at was very, very low. Okay, then it started going up. As traders, we're making money on the ride all the way up. Now, the people that owned Bitcoin as an asset, they made money too. So then it hit almost $20,000, and it did what? Turned around. Now, people are, oh my goodness, it's losing value, right? But as traders, what are we doing? Making money all the way back down all over again. We don't have a bias to it being up or down. We're gonna make money regardless. Okay.
That's what the miners do in that big club. They're like, let it go down. We make money either way.
We don't care, right? So now if you're owning an asset, then now you got to do your research on that culture, the fundamentals of that, you know, what's happening in the news, where's that whole thing going? Because I know people that invest in dinar as well. But yeah, I don't know. To answer your question, I don't, because I do not buy currency as an asset.
Right.
I trade it.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you go to Vegas,
You
did that.
We just came back from Vegas. We did last week.
When you go to Vegas, the bigger the risk, the bigger the payoff, right?
They said the bigger risk, bigger reward. Yeah.
Right. So with
Forex.
trading,
Yes.
Forex, yes. Forex, is that the same concept? Do you see that as being the same concept?
Yeah, you're going to always have where they say, you know, the greater the risk, the greater the reward.
Right.
That is going to be true. But even within that, here's the thing about, let's compare Vegas for just a second, right? With Vegas, the odds are against you.
Right.
It's designed for the house to, there's a particular set of, you're not going to go in there and analyze anything and win.
Right.
Okay, it's almost
Mafia's
luck.
going to make sure you don't.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
Know it.
Okay.
You're going to have a bullet in the head.
Versus this
Right.
this isn't anybody working against you.
Yeah.
Right? This is you working with the banks. Like if you can understand how the banks think, right? When the banks move, when the banks make their purchases, when the banks make their sales. It's like this. If you're on a body of water in the ocean, right? And you're docked. And then a big, huge boat comes by and it starts making all these waves. It's better for you to get your little boat and ride those waves than it is for you to try to kickstart yourself from no movement in the ocean, right? You ride the wave. That's what I meant about. So the boat is producing 5.3 trillion a day, and your little bit that you're getting on your waves is making you and your family and your legacy rich.
Right.
But it's not bothering that big, huge boat either. Right? So as long as you understand that, which is kind of what we teach, then you're better. But it's still, you still have leverage. You still have a certain amount of risk, right? But what we're saying is, maybe I talked to you before about, stop, boy. Remember what I talked to you before about, like that stop loss, right? So you get in a trade at this price, and you want it to go here. So you want to take profit here. But in case it goes back this way, well, what is that risk that you're willing to take? You get to choose your risk versus risking it all like Vegas. Here you go, all my chips. Right? It's not that. You get, so let's say your $500, you're not putting your whole $500 up there. You're only risking maybe $15 of the $500. But of that, if it goes the right way, you could very well make $300. But you would have only risked $15.
That's right. And then the rest of it is in your account, your brokerage.
Right. So when you make the $300, that $300 automatically adds to your balance in your brokerage account. So if you started with $1,000, now you have $1,300 right there. Right there. You see it. $1,300. Now you can risk more, because the larger your balance becomes, the more you can leverage on each particular trade that you take. Does that make sense?
Okay. And is that tax right? Can you write off?
Right, what else?
Taxes.
Oh, well, now if it's in your brokerage account, then you haven't received any funds.
That's right.
So the idea is you flip your money in the account,
Right.
Okay,
Right,
and you
right.
only withdraw what you feel like you need to withdraw.
Okay.
When you withdraw, that's income.
Right.
So what you withdraw, that is
That's
income.
taxable.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's taxable.
Got you.
But as long as it stays in that
The
account, you're
brokerage
good.
Yeah, because you're not doing it. All you're doing is flipping it. So it's an asset, right? If you have like a cash position, you got $2 million sitting in here, but you haven't used any of it. It's just in there. That can help you leverage and do other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's the liquidity I'm talking about.
Right.
You know, but you're not going to be taxed on anything until you withdraw.
Okay.
So
like
I'm interested. I just got some money that's coming to me from some other sources.
Okay.
But so you said it's $145 per month with the basic.
Right, it's $195 first
$185
to enroll, and then in 30 days, and then every 30 days thereafter,
It's $185.
it's $145. Yeah,
It's
plus the tax.
$145.
Unless you can get two people. You get two
I got
people.
the twin right here.
You get the two people, you don't worry about that.
You don't worry about that. And as long so as long as you get your two people before your first 30 days, you'll never have to pay it.
Right. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say goodbye to Facebook Society. Everybody, okay, say goodbye to Facebook, and then we'll finish talking. All right, and get everything going. Hold on, watch outside. All right, guys. So I hope y'all got some value.
Most definitely.
We're out of here.
Good. Thank you.
All right, guys. So we just got through. Listen, Josiah has been just having a ball. You guys saw him. You guys know how Josiah is about this presentation. All right. So I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Oh yeah.